What is up, fellow ATX yappers? We are here at the Austin Pod, day 3. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Episode 3.
Episode 3.
We made it. I'm saying that like every episode. I'm like, we made it. It is ACL Line Up release day, and we are excited to talk about that. What did you get up to this weekend first, though?
Oh, man. Another weekend of over drinking with Cinco De Mayo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was.
So Sunday, I went to like 6 different places, drank 3 cocktails at every single place.
Which places?
I went to Higbee's
Okay.
because they were doing dollar margs and I was already downtown.
Dollar margs.
Dollar margs.
That's like unheard of.
Which it worked because the
these
place was
days.
packed.
I'm shocked.
And it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was a very light margarita,
Okay.
but still, after like 3 of them, we were feeling it.
You're like, we had like 15 and then we felt a buzz. Yeah.
So that was
Hell
cool.
yeah.
I think Higbee's is an interesting spot that doesn't get
haven't
a lot
been
of
yet.
attention. I like it because they do a lot of DJ stuff.
Okay.
And then they have pool tables and everybody was just like hanging out.
Hell yeah.
Really impressive. And then went to upstairs at Caroline.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that place is cool. They have a really good frozen, so that's why
They do.
I enjoy going there.
I like that. I love a place that has games.
Yeah.
Like, in addition to their bar, where we're not just like sitting, staring at each other. Like, we could like play Jenga or do like the beanbag toss and
Mhm.
whatnot. So I like upstairs at Caroline's.
Yeah, I think that was one of the reels that went like really viral is like bars with other stuff to do because people are always searching for that.
Hell yeah. I've never
Yeah.
been to the restaurant below, though.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither. But I
Yeah.
like the upstairs. I feel like it's a vibe. I think people might just look at it differently because it's connected to a hotel.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It is.
Yeah. So maybe it doesn't feel
Never
like as
gone there.
Austin-y, but I think it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
And then we were talking about this before, but I went to Little Easy, the new bar in East Austin.
Oh, yeah.
hmm
And is the hype real?
I think the hype is real.
Okay.
Now, they're still obviously rolling it out. It was an early visit.
Right.
But from the food I had, it was absolutely amazing. And I talked to other people that were actually from New Orleans, and they were like, this is the closest thing I've had in Austin that gave me that.
What?
Yeah, and they were like, I've been to Uptown. We were hoping Uptown would have been what this is.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't have many, do we?
I don't think we do have that many. So, I mean, let us know in the comments. I feel like there's a few others.
Yeah, it's not coming to top of mind. I feel like I should know more Cajun places in
Yeah.
Austin.
And
That's
then-
good to know.
Yeah, and then the other thing as a drinker is they had a frozen menu with like 10 to 12 different frozens on there.
12?
Yeah.
That's a shit ton.
It was awesome. So,
Okay. Did you try them all?
I tried like
10.
5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but that was really cool, and I think it's going to be a place that, like, if you like to day drink or you just want to get your day started,
Hell yeah.
go there, sit on the patio, have a couple frozens, and then you'll be ready to go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot it was Cinco de Mayo this past weekend because it was like an ugly day Saturday. So I was just like in my cocoon. But then Sunday, the sun came out for a little bit, and I didn't even register with Cinco de Mayo. But I did go to Drinks Backyard.
Okay, yeah.
Have you been
Yep.
there?
I haven't been to that location, the other drink spots I've been to.
Yes. So it's down the street from the Concourse Project. So I feel like it's a little out of the way, but for people who don't like necessarily like the crowds, it's so spacious, has a big ass free parking lot, and it's dog friendly. They've got lawn games, they've got food trucks. They have a big ass stage and a huge flat screen. So they were showing the playoffs and F1 in Miami, and there was a live music band. It was a vibe.
Interesting. I might have to go there because I've been looking for a place with a big TV
It was, yeah,
for the NBA playoffs.
it was huge. I was like, it wasn't even that packed either, which was weird because it was Cinco de Mayo. But it has one of my favorite pizza food
Mine too.
trucks. Oh yeah, remember when they were at Reina?
Oh, it's the best.
I know. Naco's Neapolitan style pizza, y'all. They've only been around a couple years now?
2-3 years.
They started as
And-
just like a pop-up business, and then they finally got a food truck, and I was like, praise be. So I have somewhere to go, and I don't just have to wait for the pop-ups. But yeah, it's some of the best pizza I've had.
Yeah. They're
Love
actually
them.
from New York, so that's kind of cool too.
And New Jersey, right?
Or is it Jersey?
I thought
Or
they were
he
from
had
New
a
Jersey.
he had a spot in New York. It was one of those. I remember him telling me the
okay.
story,
Yes.
and I was like, "Oh, this makes sense why it's so good."
Yes. They are Italian, though. I know that. And they have family in Italy, I believe. So.
Amazing.
Anyway, love them. It was a chill weekend for me, but
So I feel like that's cool. We kind of are giving them two bars to check out. Lil Easy, which will be open, and then it's what's it called? Drinks Backyard. Lil
yeah.
Drinks. Okay.
Yeah. So if you've heard of Drinks Lounge on, what is it, East Cesar Chavez,
Mm-hmm.
then Drinks Backyard is their newest baby. It opened last fall. I'm kind of worried for the summer for them because there's not a lot of trees. There's no trees in their patio.
Okay.
And I just know that those July and August months like really put those patio bars like to work. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
there's some certain spots you can already tell it's gonna be too much.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's why when you said you had dollar margaritas, I immediately think to like the heat of summer because that's when businesses are like, we're gonna have dollar margs for every like day that it's over 100 degrees.
Get them to go there, yeah.
It'll get people to go there and suffer, but I'm hopeful for them. But yeah,
I love that. Yeah, it was a successful weekend of over drinking for both of us, I guess.
love that. Well, now we want to talk about the ACL Fest lineup 2024, just released this morning. What were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, let's jump into initial thoughts first, and then we
Okay.
can dive deeper. But
Yeah. Like
initial thoughts were
as soon as
Yeah.
you looked, like what were you?
okay. As soon as I looked, because it was a journey.
It was a journey. It was like a roller coaster.
My first thought was, there's not the people that I was like really hoping for that were on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a couple big headliners.
I know we both wanted Post Malone,
Yes.
but who else were you?
So Posty
Hoping
was
for.
the number one for me, and then I would say like Zach Bryan. I was maybe hoping for Lana Del Rey. I was really hoping for. I really like her, and I think that she would fit Austin. I know people hope for her every year.
She was the like most talked about for this year in my DMs. Like, I just pray that they get Lana. Like, she was on Lollapalooza last year. She just did Coachella. She was on the ACL Fest lineup in 2014,
Okay,
just 10 years ago.
that's crazy.
Meanwhile, we got Tyler again, who was here 3 years ago. What?
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
I didn't like the Tyler thing.
Yeah, I feel like it was too recent.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I complained about like, please don't let us get the Killers again, even though they were last year in 2017. That even felt recent to me. And so to see Tyler there, like I don't dislike Tyler, but I'm just
Same.
like, we just saw him.
Yeah, just wasn't an interesting booking. Like there was nothing special about it for
Yeah.
Austin. Whereas like Leon Bridges, I
Love him.
love him, and that's perfect for Austin.
Yes.
It
he is
made
perfect.
sense.
It did.
Yeah, so
I
that
love
was
him
just
so
my
much.
initial thoughts. But what really crossed your mind like right away before you jumped into the undercard? What did you think?
Dua Lipa was the prediction for last year. So to see her on it this year, I was like, oh,
Same.
shit, we're finally getting her. I've heard nothing but good things about her live performances.
I've seen her.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, Bonnaroo, and she's incredible.
Really?
I fell in love with her when I watched her. I was like, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
yay. Okay. Well, I'm excited. I feel like I should have pulled the lineup up just for this.
Yeah, I do want to see it too.
Immediately, I saw 2 country acts. So happy for the country fans.
I actually like that. Yeah, honestly, I think we do need some country acts on there, and country is like bigger than ever at the moment. Well, maybe not ever, but
I
it's
feel
been very popular recently.
I feel like we get country acts on the main headliners every year, though.
Well, we do, but some of them are like old timers who aren't popular anymore, and I feel like a couple of them right now are like very popular, if that makes sense. Like
Who
Chris
was-
Stapleton right now
Yeah.
is big.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, I felt like past years they were like, yeah, they were big in the 90s or what.
Wasn't last year's country act Casey Musgraves?
Casey Musgraves is big, but there was somebody else. Who was it? It was the girl that jumped on stage with, unless she was like a legacy act, but she jumped on stage with the Foo Fighters and was singing.
Oh, Alanis Morissette.
No,
Oh.
she was like one of the main girls on there. I think she did just one weekend.
Oh, Shania Twain.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she hasn't put out music in a forever.
True. She was a legacy act. I am laughing because it looks like this year's legacy act is Blink 182. And I'm like, what?
Are we old?
Are we old now? That's like my middle school, like, that was my band, like, along with Green Day, Good Charlotte, Simple Plan. But Blink has been, like, the GOAT for so
Yeah.
long. I was excited.
I'm very happy about Blink. I've seen them at
too.
Bonnaroo, Lollapalooza, and they just have so many hit songs.
I know.
So
Oh
they're
my
going to do
God.
fine. I think that's a
I-
great one.
I am going to relive my emo. It's not even emo, but like back then I pretended I was emo in middle school. So gonna relive those days.
Yeah, wearing all black in the Texas heat.
Yeah. It reminds me of when Paramore was here 2 years ago.
Yes.
I feel like that stage is gonna be so packed.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like they're gonna put Blink across someone that I also want to see.
That's the challenge. And this was actually, so I did a little reaction on TikTok.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wait, so did I.
Oh, you did? I didn't see yours on
Yeah.
TikTok. Okay.
I had to be quiet, so it wasn't that funny. But
Okay. So my one of my reactions was, I know how people are acting, but what they don't realize is these festivals, you really just want like 25% of the lineup to be good for you.
Yeah,
Because if not, you're gonna not be able to see everybody.
100%.
Right? So when I look at this, okay, of the headliners, I just need 3 of them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, and I get that.
Yeah, and I like all of these. I probably won't make it to the country acts unless just them two are on a single day. Then I'll
Mhm.
pick one. But I know I'll be at Pretty Lights. I'll be at Leon Bridges, Dua Lipa.
Same.
I won't be at Tyler the Creator because I just saw him. I will be at Blink, and I actually do like this band. I don't know if I'm saying
Is
their
it
name
Krobin?
right. Krongpin.
Kronkpin?
Krongpin.
I don't know either. I actually don't know them.
So I didn't know them until last summer. They are like, but they're once I listened to their songs, I was like, oh, I've heard these before. So you might have heard them before.
Okay.
They're like indie rock jam band, I believe.
Okay.
I hope I'm doing that justice. People are probably like, this.
Well, that's my.
bitch doesn't know
I am
me.
a big indie person, so
Yeah, they're good vibes. So I think they're worth a listen. Jungle.
that
It-
is yes. I am so excited for
It'll
Jungle.
be so much fun.
Yeah, they're
I was
another one that's
stoked.
perfect for Austin.
Literally, I was giving them another listen, and I was like, I have heard all of these on
Mhm.
Instagram.
And they're really good for live performances.
Yeah.
So that's like one of those ones I see people becoming fans after they finally get to see them.
Yes. So stoked about that. We got a lot of EDM
I know.
this lineup, which I'm so
we are
excited
EDM
for.
people.
We are. And every year, I feel like they give us maybe 3 EDM like
Yeah.
artists, like max. And I'm always wanting more. And this time they were like, here you go. Shut the hell up.
Yep.
See you in the Tito's tent. Like that's where y'all are gonna be. We got for all our fellow EDM folks, we got Dom Dalla, Porter
Which-
Robinson.
Freaking out about Dundalk.
Oh, I love Dom Dalla. Literally, that's like
Freaking
my
out.
favorite one. Porter Robinson, San Holo, Elderbrook, Teddy Swims, Barry Can't Swim. Were there any others I missed?
I was gonna say, if you haven't heard of him, Barry Can't Swim is gonna be somebody you're gonna want to see.
I do like him.
Somebody said that he has potential to blow up the way Fred again did.
Oh,
Which-
okay.
I don't know if it's gonna happen as fast.
You're like, I don't agree with that.
Because Fred again is special. But Barry Can't Swim can definitely be a future star at some point, and this is an opportunity to see him while he's lower on a festival lineup.
Okay.
So I definitely think that's one. Obviously, Porter Robinson is
Yeah.
special as well.
And then just fun bands that I've already liked is Foster the People. I don't even consider them old school, but I guess it has been a while. that
Yeah.
They,
They put out a couple, like, obviously they were big when they came out, and then there were several years that went by, and then they released a couple other hits.
oh, they did?
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to that. I was obsessed with their first 2 albums, so I'm stoked for them. For my fellow pop girlies, we got Renee Rapp and Chappelle Roan, which I did say
Yep, I remember that.
would be on there, but I also said we got to get Sabrina Carpenter.
Yep.
And she's not on here. And everyone, other than Lana Del Rey, she was like the second that people were
Wow.
like, Sabrina's got to be there. She's the it girly right now. So out of the 3 girl badasses, they could only give us 2. So I'm taking what I can there. Oh, and Remy Wolf, Mr. Wives.
That's a good one.
There's some great.
Yeah,
acts
my
on
emo
here.
people, we got Something Corporate.
Oh my gosh, I also listened to them in middle school.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I think that's going to be a really good show. And there was another emo person lower down. I just can't remember who it was looking at this. But obviously we have Blink, Something Corporate, and then forgot who the other one was, but I didn't write it down. Oh, Petey.
PD, what is that?
Petey is down there. He's indie, Really, really good. I saw him at Bonnaroo, and he's
Oh.
actually a huge TikToker. Like when people look him up,
Oh, well, no, like a famous song of his.
yeah.
Okay.
But he blew up on TikTok for being the guy that would like act as like 5 different people in a TikTok. And he'd be like, "What are
Oh,
you doing?" And he'd be like, "I'm just sitting on the couch." And it would be like these funny skits where
I
it would
wonder
be
if it's.
weird,
Yeah.
and but you wanted to watch it till the end.
I wonder if it's the one I'm thinking of.
He has like a beard, long hair. He almost looks like a hippie.
Okay. You'll have to
Um,
send me one.
yeah, you'll have to see it. But saw him live, and he's really, really fun.
Hell yeah. Oh, also country, we have Orville Peck, which I think I have on here that I'm pretty sure he'll be there. Oh my gosh, for certain, I had St. Vincent and she is not on here.
Oh, that's actually a surprising one.
Yeah, let's take a look at what we got for. We were pretty wrong. I told people to keep dreaming about No Doubt. I was like, y'all, we're
Yeah.
not getting No Doubt. Like, if anything, maybe one day I could see us getting Gwen Stefani, but No Doubt, I just feel like is too big for ACL. They're like, we'll do Coachella, and then
Yeah, they probably
other people
paid a
can suck
lot
it.
to get them.
Oh, I'm sure. Um, we we didn't get Goth Babe or Griffin or Disco Lines. Those were wrong.
Yup. Yeah, I put Fisher because I heard that he was almost a lock, and that didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, that sucks. I did put under my I wouldn't mind a repeat. I put Justice and Two Door Cinema Club. We didn't get them. I put Tyler the Creator here, and now I'm like, why did I write that? Like maybe I manifested that because I'm like, wait, it was too soon for
I
him
think
to
he's
come
on
back.
like 4 lineups though. It's one of those like killers ones where you'd expect them to just be on it.
Oh wow. I just feel like before he came in what 2021 that he was not on the ACL lineups before, but I don't remember
I
TBH.
know.
We didn't get Vampire Weekend, and obviously the biggest letdown was no Post Malone. Why can't we get Post Malone?
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand. Like,
Unless it was one of those things where they're like, okay, do a Libra or Post Malone, and they had to pick between the two.
yeah, maybe. But didn't Miley Cyrus come like the same year Megan the Stallion was here? And I feel like those are two
Yeah.
huge acts. They gotta be expensive.
I would think so.
I know. And Post Malone's just like chilling in Wyoming. Like, I
Yeah.
know he wants to come back to Texas, where he's from.
100%.
This is me. I know Post Malone is listening right now. So I need you to get your ass back to Texas and come to ACL Fest. Cut us a deal.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense. I mean, maybe they were looking at Tyler, the Creator, was like maybe a little hip hop, so they were like, let's not throw that in there.
But
And it
he's
was-
doing country acts now.
Yeah, so he could have done that.
Oh, maybe because Sturgill Simpson and Chris Stapleton.
Yep. I thought Zach
conflicts.
Bryan would have been a really good get because he's blowing up right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, and like people would go crazy for him, and he has the country aspect, and then like Texas, it just fits perfectly.
Oh, is he from Texas?
No, I don't think he's from Texas, but like
Oh.
everybody in Texas loves that type of music. If
Oh,
that
okay.
makes sense.
I haven't listened much.
Okay, I would give him a chance. I've been slowly like just getting more and more into him.
Was he just recently at that Georgetown Fest that went on?
I
Was
don't
that-
think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
What's it called?
Well, there's two. There's like Two Step In.
Is that the one?
Yeah, I think that was the one, and then I went to a different one that was in South Austin somewhere.
What's that one?
Why am I blanking?
It's okay, no pressure.
There's all these different country names, and I follow all these festivals.
That's fair.
But I'm going to one in Louisville, which is Bourbon and Beyond. It's called.
What?
Yeah, and
That
it's,
sounds like you made that up.
I know.
Bourbon and Beyond.
That's why I'm going.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and Zach Bryan is like a headliner for that festival,
Oh,
so I'm so
okay.
excited for that.
That'll be sick.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of other people, so I'm gonna take a road trip out there. But
Where's that?
yeah, it's like I think it's like close to downtown Louisville.
Sorry, where's that?
Oh, like Kentucky.
Oh. I'm like,
And I used to say it wrong. I used to say Louisville.
oh, okay.
But
I
then
thought
they're
it was
like,
Louisville.
No, because I
Louisville.
learned from Jack Harlow.
Oh.
He was like, no, you have to let it draw, so you have to say Louisville.
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 Oh my God. I thought it was Louisville.
I mean, maybe somebody's gonna make fun of me and be like, he's still not getting it right, but I'm pretty sure
I'm sure I'm saying it worse.
because that's like
so-
the bourbon capital
Yes.
for the most part. So we've been there, I think 3 times now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The Whiskey Boys taking over.
Yeah. But big festival people, both of us. So I think we have a decent knowledge on what's out there and who was supposed to be there or not. And overall, I would say I'm happy.
Okay.
And even driving here, the more I look at it, the lineup is almost deeper than last year.
Dude, last year I was the complainer.
Okay.
I was like, what the hell are you doing giving us Mumford and Foo Fighters
I
again?
didn't like it last year.
I know nobody did.
Yeah. And I still had a great time.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and I think that's what a lot of people don't realize. And I even saw some people commenting on my post about the festival, and they were saying like, "Oh, well, it's too expensive. I'm not going to pay that much money."
It did. Did you notice it raised in price?
How much was it before? Because what is it, $360 now?
Yeah, it raised by $40.
Okay, but I'm still always going to support festivals,
Right.
because it's like divided up by the 3 days,
Yes.
and then you're seeing 5 acts a day, at,
Mhm.
maybe, and it's like, I don't want to say anything negative about the Moody, but I was looking at like Tyler
right.
Childers, and it was $400 a ticket for 2 hours, and then you're done, and there's that money,
Yeah.
So for this,
Yeah.
it's such a deal if you like music. If you're somebody who's not
For
a big
sure.
live music person, I get it.
Listen, just put me in a park in October when the weather isn't like death heat anymore, and then put a drink in my hand, live music in the background. Like, I'm gonna have a good time.
Yep.
Like, that's why I'm at ACL every year, no matter if I complain about the lineup.
Yeah.
I have that reel I made of people complain every year, but they're still gonna go.
Yeah. Because FOMO's real.
FOMO is real, and I agree with you that like when you look at how the prices are for concerts these days, you're getting a deal for a 3-day festival. I feel like festivals lately, like with other ones, are like reaching a cap though.
Yeah.
Like, I think Coachella for the first time like didn't sell out immediately this year because they raised the prices. I think Electric Forest raised their prices, and people are like, "What are you doing?" Like,
I know.
We are not made of money, so we need to keep it a little bit, doable.
Yep. And that's why I think we're seeing a little bit less when it comes to the lineups.
Right.
If you look at like 2015 to 2018, some of the lineups were amazing.
I know.
And I think it's because they don't have as much money, so they're trying to save a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
But I did notice a big drop in festivals that are out there this year. Like, I think Firefly skipping a year, which was a Delaware festival that was really big.
Yeah.
A couple other ones were like, we're going to skip this year.
Yeah.
So I think they're worried about ticket sales. So that might even help the other festivals that are still out there. And I'm pretty sure ACL did a good job at selling last year. I've heard
It's sold out.
It's sold out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I used to be the guy that was like, hey, actually wait till last minute. I've said this for like 10 years because you can get deals on tickets.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
Flew there, got an Airbnb,
Didn't have a ticket.
hopped into Uber to the festival that day, and then pulled up StubHub. And then got half off VIP tickets for $350 instead of $700.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and it was amazing. And so now I tell people that. And then last year was the first year I was on StubHub. Like, they're actually not that much of a deal. Like, it was actually almost challenging.
Even like right before the festival?
Yeah, like right before the festival. So now I'm like nervous about telling people to do that trick anymore. Just because I think that ACL does draw a big crowd, and there's a lot of locals that go. So be cautious with that. Maybe you want to get on the layaway plan now.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But if you're willing to work for it, you can definitely find a deal. If you're willing to work for it.
My friends in the group chat are already panicking. They're like, it's going to sell out. And like, I'm in the queue. It's not taking my card. And I was just like, y'all, people always resell like 2 weeks before the festival. I am always that girl that's like, you can just buy from a scalper like right before the gates. But there's still that risk you run of like getting scammed. I've done it and I've never been scammed, but I did hear like stories here and there where people were like, it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So I like caution people. I'm like, you could try it and haggle, but don't make that like your,
Yeah,
only
especially
way of
because
going.
we're the ones giving that recommendation, and we're now influencers. So people are like, "You told me."
I always put that disclaimer: you could get scammed.
Yeah.
And maybe just for peace of mind, like just buy it ahead of time if you can afford it.
Yeah.
But even not from a scalper, like I just think people on Facebook groups and even Instagram are putting like, my friend needs to sell his ticket next weekend, can't make it anymore. Or I got a wedding that came up, or injuries come up. Like, something always happens where people suddenly cannot go. And the closer you get to the festival, the more they're willing to sell for
Yep.
like less than they paid. At least like take away fees that they paid.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, I mean, even last year, we had a big group of friends that went, and I think half the group didn't have tickets, and they were able to finally get in.
from
So,
Scalper.
from scalpers or the Facebook group, like you said, where they
Mhm.
just sold it. So I've never had a situation where somebody was like, couldn't make it. I wasn't able to get a ticket.
Yeah, that's never been the case, especially
Yeah.
for ACL Fest.
Yeah.
I do, or I did get the sense from people that this is a lineup that more people are excited about than last year.
So that might even help it because I think a lot of people will buy them early,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously things are going to come up, and they might have to sell them.
Mm-hmm. True.
Whereas last year, maybe people were like, I'm not buying tickets.
Yeah.
And it was the reverse, where last minute, a lot of people wanted to buy because they were like,
I think you're right.
so maybe that's it.
I think you're right. I think they'll have no trouble selling out this year. I also had some people tell me, because I was showing my excitement on Instagram, and I got people in my DMs being like, this lineup sucks, but don't worry, it just means you're young. So she's like, they were like, good for you, like, because I don't know the majority of these names. And I was like, am I young? Like, first Blink-182 being the legacy act, I'm like, am I old? And then
Exactly.
people being like, I don't know any of these acts, and I do. I'm like, am I young? So
True.
I feel like peak millennial right now saying all that, but
I kind of want to hear a couple, and this rolls into that because we're talking about knowing some acts. I want to hear some that you would recommend to somebody that's are like on the lower of the festival lineup. And I wrote down two, so I'll give mine first, and then you can give yours.
okay, yeah.
But first, this one's not super low, but if you haven't heard of them, Santigold.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, they're going to be perfect for Austin. Amazing live performers.
What's the vibe?
Electronic pop, but like when you look up their description,
Ooh.
it says multiple genres. Like they're so
Okay.
artistic
Okay.
that like they have many different styles.
It's like a big band or
I think there's a band and then there's like a lead singer who's
Okay.
a woman and she's incredible.
ooh,
Yeah.
I would love that.
So that's my first recommendation. I think they're going to be like somebody that fits that experience of being outside in Austin, Texas with a drink in your hand. Yes.
Love that.
My other one, now this is why when you said TikTok,
Mm.
I was like, oh, this is one that I think blew up because of TikTok. And maybe I'm wrong, but it's Richie Mitch and the Coal Miners.
Oh, I saw someone mention them on Reddit and that they were really great.
Mm-hmm. I've heard great things as well. And
Okay.
then my buddy recommended them. So I looked them up and I go, oh, yeah, I know like 3 of these songs because they were viral on TikTok.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
And they're like a song you would put over like traveling.
Oh, then I would like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, that's all you had to say. I'm like, I would like them. It's really hard for me not to like the music, like most music that I see ACL puts, even if I've never heard of them before.
Yeah.
If I show up and it's a good vibe, I'm like, sick.
Same, same.
Love that. I would tell people that Fletcher is really great. She it looks like she'll only be here for weekend one. She is like a indie rock powerhouse girly. Great vocalist, love her. Chapel Roan, I mentioned her before, but she's like a slumber party pop, like camp diva that's killing it right now. Like
Okay.
I feel like what's gonna happen with her because she's like on the rise, like so high right now that I remember it was 2019 when we got Lizzo, and Lizzo was like just starting her come up at the beginning of the year, and then by the time she came to ACL Fest, she was huge, and so her stage at the Miller Lite stage, I think, a side stage, was just filled to the brim.
Wild.
I feel like that will happen with Chapel Roan.
Yeah, we were saying that
Um,
on the last episode. I think Noah Khan was that last year because when the lineup dropped, he was getting bigger.
Yeah.
But by the time the festival came,
yeah.
he's selling
oh
out
my God, it was
arenas.
so packed. Noah Khan and Labyrinth. I saw those crowds
Mm,
last year and I was like, holy shit. And then I will say people should not miss the Beaches. They are a
Mm.
girl rock band. I just love them. I think they are so well live and a great time. I think this is a really solid lineup.
It really is. That's what I'm saying. Because
I cannot
I
complain.
already know there's going to be a time where we can't make one performance because somebody else is playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like if people got a lineup where the
It'd be terrible.
I know, like every single person they loved,
Yeah.
you would not be able to see them all.
Yeah, that's even worse. Like, I'd rather not have to be like, oh, my
Yeah.
2 favorite artists are playing right now. Who do I pick?
That happened to me when I went to Coachella in like 2018. There were so many acts that I loved that were on at the same time that I was like, "Ugh, I can't. I was like doing sprints across that big ass field. They put Post Malone and Beyonce on at the same
Oh,
time.
that's crazy.
And I was like, what the hell? Why do you hate me, Coachella? And yeah, so I understand that like I'm not gonna know everyone, I'm not gonna love everyone, but that's just how lineups go.
Yeah. Coachella's a bucket list for me, though.
It's worth it.
You think so? To
Yeah.
go once?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been twice and I like it a lot. People hate on it because they think it's just an influencer.
Yeah, so much hate.
Yeah, but it's like not like that. Once you get there, everyone's just there to have a good time. Yeah, you'll see a few girlies like in front of the Ferris wheel taking pics.
Which
but
still
like,
happens here.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
you see girlies at the ACL Fest flags. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. I'm just like, people are still there to see music. And I also love that Coachella has an art aspect. Like huge installations of art that you can like walk inside. I wish ACL did more of that. I feel bad because my friends who live in Denver or work in the festival work atmosphere, they give ACL a shot and then they always tell me, they're like, yeah, so I'll probably never come back to this festival. And I'm like, oh.
Okay, so that actually brings up a really good point, though. So when people asked about how we feel about the festival, this was my way of putting it. As a local, I love it. I'm going to be at both weekends. But if I was living, let's say, several states away, would you pay, let's say, almost $2,000? You would have to get flights and a hotel, and then the tickets. So would you do that for this lineup? And that's where I was like, honestly, no.
Yeah.
So that's I guess that crossing point of how great it is.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of lineups out there that I felt that way about.
For sure.
Like I was even looking at Lawless, but I do like a mixture of everything. There's a little more rap on that lineup. There was even more EDM on that lineup.
Of course.
And then still the rock and stuff.
For sure.
But as a local, and it being an Austin festival, I'm like, I love it.
Of course.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Like every year people complain and I'm like, it's basically in our backyard. What are you going to do that weekend?
Yeah, exactly. And you're just going to regret it. Yeah.
Then you're just going to see everybody's stories. And maybe not everyone gets FOMO, but I get FOMO. I think I said this before.
I'm terrible with that.
But I told you one year I did weekend 2 only, and I had to see everyone having fun weekend 1. I was like, never again will I skip weekend 1.
But do you ever feel like now weekend 2, you're going to be like, I wish I was there?
Well, that's why I try to go to both now.
Okay. Even for like a day or something. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny that y'all didn't hear this, but this guy that before we came in, he's 28 and was like, yeah, I guess I'm too old for this lineup. And I'm like, excuse me? No, you're not. But I'm with you. I think people coming from another state, like it just doesn't equal like the amount you'll have to pay unless maybe you're like spending a week in Austin and you're gonna explore like the other parts of it. Maybe you have friends here that you could crash with.
Yeah, maybe it was already on like their bucket list and they're like, no matter what the lineup is, I'm still gonna come this year.
Yeah.
Or somebody on that headliner is just exactly what they wanted to see.
Yeah, but it takes a lot now for me to see a great lineup in another state that I'm like, I'm gonna shell out $2,000, maybe more.
Maybe more
for this.
Yeah, that could be just flight and hotel because hotels are like $300 a night, especially during the festival.
Yeah. It's so funny that I feel like we're very alike in terms of what we want in a festival, but you love Lollapalooza and I do not, which is so interesting.
Well, it's funny because when I tell my reasons, everybody goes, I agree with that.
More EDM and rap.
It's more EDM and rap, but I will say I love that it's in the city.
Yes.
So I don't know many other festivals that are like that where like literally a street over is this gorgeous building behind the main stage. So at night when you're watching the band play, like the skyline views are incredible. And some people even say, well, Austin has that. I'm like, no, you're in Zilker. Like it's in the distance you see the city.
Kind of.
It's not like right there. So I think like it's those aspects. It's that there is more of a diverse lineup, which I think other people would agree with. it's a bigger lineup, so then it's like there's more opportunity for people to see the artists they want to see. I also love Chicago. I think it's one of the best cities
Do love
in the
Chicago.
U.S.
That's why
But
when I went, I made it a Chicago trip too.
yeah, so
But
that's the other thing about these traveling festivals. It's fun when you get to experience the city as well. So
yeah.
that goes into it too. But besides that, I get other people's complaints. It's like a very young festival, and they get a lot of like college kids that are wasted.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
my gosh. Literally these children like asked to buy my alcohol wristband from me for like $50 and I was like, "Where is your mother?"
speaking of that, I was like, I should bury some alcohol in Zilker Park.
Oh my
I'm not gonna
gosh.
actually do it because they would probably ban me.
He's going to do it, folks.
I'm gonna do it. I'll get the cut. Because I
mean,
literally was like, that would be the most viral video. First off,
did someone do that?
somebody did it at a different festival once.
Oh, it was for Lala, right?
I think it was for Lala, see, which makes sense.
That's so funny.
But then I was like, I would get banned because I'm like a local Austin person.
Your face would be
Yeah,
very
I'd be screwed.
recognizable. I mean, with those prices though, I don't blame you.
Imagine me pulling out like a huge Tito's, and I'm like, sponsored by Tito's.
They're like, "Sir, you're under arrest." Yeah, that'll be a good time. I mean, is the lineup similar this year?
It's not very. I mean, if you just add in the more rap, then I would say
okay.
it has some similar. Like I think Blink is there.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
you're right.
But like one of the headliners is Metro Boomin and Future.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
And I might be going. So
Did you keep up with all this beef this past weekend?
I have, but I'm a big Drake stan.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
You
I'm
better
kind of
cut
like,
that out.
yeah. Now, like, am I allowed to go see Metro Boomin?
Uh,
Because they're kind of like one of the beefing people. So,
oh, true.
but the other part of me is like,
Wild.
what's this all about? What are we doing
It was wild.
here?
I was like, oh my God, he dropped again. And,
I
and
know.
I'm not even in on it. But yeah, I do think ACL Fest, I actually think there will be less old people there this year.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel as much of like legacy acts.
Yeah.
It feels like people that are more popular now. Even when I just re-looked at it, I'm like, even both of those country stars are still touring and still
Yeah.
doing stuff.
Yeah.
It's not
and
like you said.
and when I
Shania
say
Twain.
old, I just mean older generation. Don't get offended, people.
Yeah, nobody's old.
Yeah. But definitely, like, I can't see old Austin clamoring to get into ACL this year.
I agree.
So I feel like it's going to be even more maybe high school, college kids.
Yeah, I mean, you do still get that here because you have UT.
Right. But we'll see. Either way, I'm happy.
Me too.
Way better than last year.
Do we want to save like any quick tips for another episode, or maybe as we get closer, or do you want to throw anything out there for that before we finish?
I feel like we'll have a lot more to talk about closer to the festival with tips and tricks.
Yeah.
People are probably not even thinking about that right now. So.
Yeah, I can see like the 2 months coming up. There's gonna be people that are maybe flying here, or locals going to the fest, and then they're gonna be looking up
Yeah.
ACL tips and stuff. But
All right. Well, this concludes episode 3. We're super stoked for ACL Fest. And anything else?
no, this is the Austin Pod. We're gonna be talking about all things Austin. So if there's big subjects that are happening in the city, like ACL Festival happening, or if we find out new bars or restaurants are opening, or any other events or news that are worth talking about, that's what we're going to be chatting about. And we'll be putting out an episode every week. So this is episode 3, and we're excited to see where this goes.
Oh, yeah. I'm Rachel. You can find me at Rachel Lately or at 512 Bites.
And I'm Anthony, the ATX drinker. I review bars and cocktails in Austin.
Hell yeah.
All right. Cheers.
Good night.